Hey, good morning. It's a little chilly this morning. I kind of still bummed about the delay yesterday from having to go up to Cold Spring and get around the San Jacinto River and some of the flat stuff that I just knew was going to be flooded. But anyway, it is what it is. So, biggest thing is it's turned a 3-day trip into a 4-day trip. And looking at my map, there's a pond about 13 miles from where I'm at now, and I'm about mile 77 and a half. So since I got to make an extra day out of it, I'm not going to kill myself. I'll do that 13 miles to that pond, 12 and a half, 13 miles. If I see a good spot, I'll sleep there tonight, and that'll only leave me 11 miles to finish the trail. So anyway, I'm going to finish my coffee. I'm trying to dry my socks out. Don't know if that's going to work. Anyway, have some coffee and a little breakfast, start packing up. Head that way. Nice and condensation this morning. I'm getting a really late start out of camp this morning, and got up this morning. It was cold. Sleeping bag had condensation on it. I had my tent opened up good too, but I got on the outside. The outside of my rain fly had a thin sheet of ice, and I tried to get it all dried out. I never could, so I finally, after a couple of hours, I went ahead and just packed it up. And kind of the hope is tonight I'll get to camp, be warmer in the day. I can spread all this stuff out and get it dried up before I hit the hay tonight. Anyway, late start, I gotta go. Wow, these magnolia trees in here are just crazy. This forest is just loaded with magnolias. They're like 75, 80 feet tall. Sure not the southern magnolias I'm used to. It's feeling good out here now. I've got about 4.5, 5 miles in. Stop taking a nice little M&M break. You got to have those from time to time. I got enough service on my phone. I was able to check the weather, and the closest town I think that I'm to is that Cold Spring I went through yesterday. Anyway, the temperature right now there is 42, so I'm a little bit south of that. Good thing is the sun's shining today, so it feels a whole lot better than 42. So knock down a few of these good old M&Ms and head out again. Oh, Woody Woodpecker wearing this tree out, isn't he? I feel good, da 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 da, like I knew that I would, da 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 da. Ooh, man, stripping down on the Lone Star Trail. Got those old heavyweight socks off from this morning. Got my midweights on. Unzipped the bottom off my pants. I ain't going any farther than that though, because I know how y'all are. Y'all be laughing at me because I'm not young and buff anymore. Get out of here. Well, I've done a fair job so far of staying about halfway dry. I think that's about over with. You see that old blaze on the tree? Top of it's angled to the left. So I don't see any blazes ahead, but the trail's got to go that way. Anyway, so much for staying dry today. I've been able to bushwhack and bypass a lot of stuff like this, but this area here is just absolutely flat. There's not going to be any bushwhacking through this. Oh wow. Can you see underwater right there what used to be a boardwalk? Well, let's hope that's still pretty steady. Ooh, that water's cold. Alright, God, dog, that's cold. I don't know how deep it is, but my trekking pole ain't touching the bottom. I don't want to fall into this. Oh, crap. How deep that is, but I'd hate to have fallen in. I don't know if you see the boardwalk or not. It's about 4 to 6 inches underwater and it's just loose. Wow. Okay. Let's just go ahead and see if we can find a trail blaze. See that we're back on the trail again. Alright, it took a minute. But I did find a couple of blazes. Good gosh. I'm glad I unzipped my pants because it's about a foot deep right here. This area is so flat looking at the topographical map, there's no way I'm going to find a campground. And I'm about ready. Crap, I still got to try to dry out my tent. Best I can do is hope to make it about 2 more miles. And according to the map, there's some type of a campsite. Not necessarily campsite, but designated camp area. So, man, getting late in the afternoon. See if we can have about 2 miles. Hopefully we'll get there and it won't be flooded. And maybe they'll have a elevated pad, kind of like that one I found that first night. Y'all ever watch anything on the Discovery Channel? You ever notice how everything they do is critical? I can just hear it now. The narrator be saying, well, it's critical that he finds higher ground and is able to dry out his tent and his sleeping bag. And to get warm is critical because we're approaching freezing again tonight. So it's just absolutely critical. It would feel good to get my feet dry again. I think I still got about 3/4 of a mile to go looking at my map to get to that designated camp area. And those are set aside for mostly during hunting season. Otherwise, you just camp wherever you want to. But I'm hoping in this flat spot down here that's at least on a higher section. I'm sure it is. They wouldn't have built a designated camp area or had a designated camp area. It wasn't on somewhat higher ground. So, and I got to shake and bake, baby. I did make it to that designated camp area, but not a camp area. All it is just an old, overgrown forest road where probably people in 4-wheel drive trucks or whatever's got access to get back in here, I guess, to go hunting. There's no raised bed, there's nothing. But at least I did find a spot dry enough to put my tent up, so I got that up, fixed to get me a little bite to eat, get out of these old wet shoes and socks, put on some warm clothes for the night. I'll see y'all in the morning.